Hey all, this is Software Focus, and today we're going back to basics with Snagit. You don't want to miss this. Today's episode will be focused on the eraser tool available within the Snagit editor. The eraser tool does, as you would think, it allows you to erase items on the canvas. They do have to be flattened, however. So I'll put a shape here for demonstration, and you see that currently this is a floating layer object that has not been flattened onto the canvas. You can access the erase tool by going to more in the toolbar, and the second to last option in the list is eraser. Clicking on that will pull the eraser tool into the toolbar and provide quick style options to the right. There are 8 pre-made sizes from 1 pixel up to 100 pixels, and if I click on one and move my mouse cursor, let's choose a bigger one so you can actually see what I'm seeing. If I choose one and move my mouse cursor over to the canvas, you'll see a dotted white outline indicating what will be erased. You can do a manual adjust of the area erased by the slider below for width. If we drop this down to like that, you'll notice the circle is now much smaller. There's also an opacity option which allows you to adjust, so rather than completely erasing a section, it will erase half of it or erase a third of it, or you get the idea of setting it. And you also have an anti-alias toggle which essentially adjusts how the curves around the eraser get colored in. Aliasing is the way pixels try and split up a curve, because of course we have square pixels. You can't easily turn squared off pixels into a curve without aliasing or anti-aliasing. But if I select one of these and try and click on this shape, as you recall is a floating layer, I can't touch it, and that is because it is a layer on the canvas and not a part of the canvas. If I right click on the canvas and select flatten all, now if I go back to move tool, this is no longer a movable object. It is essentially part of the canvas. If I go back to the eraser tool, select an eraser, I'll be able to touch it. This is also demonstratable on screen captures you take. So I'll bring up something a little bit more interesting to demonstrate with. So we have a screenshot of the YouTube homepage, and I'll select one of the quick styles. In this case, this is a 75 pixel width eraser, and if I click, it has removed that section. And I'll demonstrate some of these sliders here. So we obviously see the size, but if I drop the opacity down to say 50% and click, you'll see that it did erase that section, but it's a partial eraser. You can still kind of see what the original was. If I choose something that's maybe a little bit more distinct rather than just black, you see what I'm meaning here. And I'll try and demonstrate the anti-alias toggle. So far it's been on. If I turn it off, reset the opacity back to 100, and if I do it right next to that, you'll notice around the edges, on the curves, this one is much more jagged in its curves, and this one is much smoother. But of course, if you look close, both of them are still jaggy a little bit. That unfortunately is just a limitation of pixels and circles. The eraser tool is limited to circles. There's no way to change that, at least at this time. And one last thing, you can erase lines in a way, if you understand my meaning. If you click and drag, it will erase as long as you have that left mouse button down. And that about does it for the eraser tool. This has been Software Focus. If you like this video, hit that like button, or click subscribe to join the channel for future videos. If you have any feedback or ideas for future videos, please leave a comment down below. Keep focusing!